Good evening. My name is Arlene Oliver, and I'm a program manager for Cancer Support Community. Tonight I'm going to be sharing a story called The Bunnies Are Not in Their Beds. Nighttime is here. Little bunnies are tucked in bed. Good night, good night. Sleep tight. Mama sits in her chair and Daddy sits in his. All is quiet. Click clack, click clack. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Back to bed, little bunnies. No more tracks on the floor. See you in the morning. Good night. Good night. All is quiet again. Mama writes a birthday card to Grandma, and Daddy reads a book, but then chugga, 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 chugga. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? What are you doing, little bunnies? No more tracks and no more trains. No more mischief tonight. Good night, good night. Sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama makes tea in her teapot, and Daddy sets out the cups, but then clip clop, clip clop. What is that noise? It sounds like the bunnies are not in their bed. Mama and Daddy tiptoe up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? What's going on, little bunnies? You're not listening to us. No more tracks and no more trains. No more horses. No more mischief tonight. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama is sipping her tea and Daddy is slicing some cake, but then zoom, zoom, broom. What's all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy walk up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? Little bunnies! Back to bed before we count to 3. No more tracks, no more trains, no more horses, no more cars, no more mischief. 1, 2, 3. Good night, sleep tight. All is quiet again. Mama turns off the lights and Daddy pulls down the shades. But then, boom, 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 honk, squonk, honk, clash, clash, smash. What's all that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. Mama and Daddy march up the stairs, open the door, and what do they see? There will be no more noise, little bunnies. Not the click or the clack of a track, not the chugga 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 of a train, not the clip or the clop of a horse, not the zoom zoom or vroom of a car, not the boom or the honk or the clash or the smash of a big bunny band, not a wiggle, not a giggle, not a sound. Good night, good night, good night. Out go the lights. All is quiet again, not a sound in the house. The good little bunnies must be in their beds. But then, tip-tap, tippity-tap. What's that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are not in their beds. They tiptoe down the hall and they open the door, and what do they see? Mama and Daddy are tucked into bed, fast asleep at last. Hooray, whisper the bunnies. We can play all night. But then, yawn, snuffle. Zzz. What is that noise? Sounds like the bunnies are all fast asleep. Good night, every bunny, big and small. Sweet bunny dreams to one and all. Good night, sleep tight. Good night, little bunnies. I hope I'll see you next week.